and welcome to Diabetes Connections in the News. I'm Stacey Sims, and these are the top diabetes stories and headlines of the past 7 days. In the News is brought to you by the T1D Exchange. The T1D Exchange is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving outcomes for the entire T1D population. Our top story this week, potential cybersecurity risk for Medtronic Minimed 600 series insulin pump systems. The FDA sent out an alert for multiple systems, including the Minimed 630G and the 670G. They say this is a potential issue. There have not been any reports of actual unauthorized access. Medtronic has issued an urgent medical device correction on their own. If unauthorized access occurs, the pump could be caused to deliver too much or too little insulin, says the FDA. Medtronic is providing a list of model numbers impacted by the issue, and they've got a bunch of FAQs. There's also a recommendation that all patients turn off the remote bolus feature on their pump if it is turned on, and it is turned on by default, so definitely check that. I'm linking up a lot more information in the show notes. I'll read the phone number here if you have questions. It's 1-800-646-4633, option 1, but go to diabetes-connections.com for more information and for that phone number as well. Omnipod 5 gets the CE mark, that is European approval, and it is for individuals age 2 and older with type 1 diabetes. And this comes as Insulet presents new studies at the European Association for the Study of Diabetes, the EASD meeting in Sweden. Also at that meeting, Abbott. They say the Freestyle Libre system can help reduce diabetes-related hospitalizations. Data from the real-world evidence of Freestyle Libre, or RELIEF study, were presented this week. Almost 6,000 people with type 2 diabetes following a basal-only regimen and using the Freestyle Libre had 67% fewer hospitalizations 1 year after starting with the Libre. It also showed a 75% reduction in hospitalizations for DKA and 44% drop in admissions for severe low blood sugar. The study also showed sustained reductions in hospitalizations over 2 years while using the Freestyle Libre, regardless of whether the patients were under the care of a diabetes specialist or a general practitioner. A look at bone health and type 1 diabetes in teen girls. Small study here with girls ages 10 to 16. It found that the more sedentary had worse markers of bone health in imaging tests than girls without diabetes. When the groups had the same physical activity, though, no difference was seen, regardless of diabetes. However, this is early research and further study is needed. But these researchers say if the study bears out, physical activity is potentially a really effective means of improving bone quality in kids with type 1. Right back to the news in just a moment. But first, let me tell you about the T1D Exchange Registry. You've heard me talk about this as a research study conducted online. But what does that really mean? Well, you've heard the saying, nothing about us without us, right? Your voice is really needed, not just to, help fill out these forms and make this research complete, but to drive the research, to tell these folks what you want to know more about. If you go to their website right now, you can see they're asking people about probiotics and diabetes. They want to learn about navigating type 1 in young adulthood. And there's a big new research opportunity coming soon when it comes to what they're calling big data. This is about data sharing. When you think about how much information is contained in your pump and CGM system, how do we share things like that? How should we share things like that? What protections do we have? There is so much that you can help with here. The T1D Exchange Registry needs our help. You really can help advance meaningful treatment care and policy. Your privacy is protected. You can stay anonymous. Please check it out. For more information or to register, go to t1dregistry.org/Stacey. That's t1dregistry.org/STACEY. Back to the news, and Jdrf has announced the launch of the Type 1 Diabetes Index. The T1D Index is a first-of-its-kind data simulation tool that they say measures the human and public health impact of the T1D crisis in every country across the globe. Until now, there have been wide gaps in the data about incidence and impact of T1D. So this report and the accompanying research has been published in the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology. It's a global survey with more than 500 endocrinologists, 400 publications. As a result of this research, the T1D Index has led to 4 key interventions that they've identified. They say things like a timely diagnosis, insulin and strips, making sure people can have pumps and CGMs, and even leading to prevention and cures. There's also a lot of important statistics in here. It's quite dense, as you can imagine, and I have linked it up in the show notes. Before I let you go, I want to talk real quick about Mom's Night Out. This is a regional event. If you live in the Southeast United States, you got to come by. Mom's Night Out is a new conference I'm putting together in January in Charlotte, North Carolina, for moms of kids with diabetes. There's more information on the website, and I will put it in the show notes as well. The response has been pretty overwhelming. I'm hearing from moms around the country who want me to bring this to their town, which I would love to do, so stay tuned for that. But if you can get to Charlotte for this first event, it's going to be pretty special. We are capping the number of attendees. We have limited space, and we are a third of the way there after only 2 weeks of open registration. So I think this is going to fill up pretty quickly. And I think it just speaks to the support that we all need, right? And that is it for In the News for this week. If you like it, please share it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you back here soon.
Diabetes Connections is a production of Stacey Sims Media. All rights reserved, all wrongs avenged.